For decades, Toyota had built its reputation on precision, discipline, and an almost unshakable sense of control. But beneath that image of perfection, small failures were quietly accumulating, unnoticed and unchallenged. These issues appeared minor at first, buried deep within an organization built to suppress deviation. Layer by layer, complexity grew faster than the systems designed to contain it. Information moved upward carefully, filtered by a culture that prized harmony over alarm. Warnings existed, but they arrived fragmented, incomplete, and easy to rationalize. At the highest levels, confidence slowed reaction, even as signals quietly intensified. The system continued to move forward, even as strain accumulated beneath its surface. What appeared stable from the outside was already beginning to fracture from within. By the early 2000s, Toyota was no longer just a car maker, but a benchmark for the entire industry. Its production philosophy promised consistency at a scale others struggled to match. Every process was measured, documented, and refined until variation was nearly invisible. This discipline allowed Toyota to expand rapidly across global markets. Factories thousands of miles apart operated as if they shared the same walls. For customers, Toyota became synonymous with reliability. Purchasing one felt less like a risk and more like a guarantee. Inside the company, success reinforced confidence in existing systems. Processes that had once prevented failure were now rarely questioned. Past victories quietly shaped assumptions about future certainty. As growth accelerated, complexity followed close behind. Systems designed for stability began carrying more weight than they were built for. Then, pressures from outside the company began to surface. The global financial system was entering its most severe downturn in decades. Demand across the automotive industry began to contract with unprecedented speed. Supply chains built for efficiency were suddenly tested by instability. For companies reliant on global exports, the impact was immediate. Inside Toyota, performance metrics began to shift in unfamiliar ways. Isolated issues appeared minor, but their frequency began to rise. Initial responses focused on maintaining stability rather than reassessing assumptions. As conditions changed, the margin for error narrowed. Complex systems, once balanced, became harder to manage under pressure. Outside observers began paying closer attention. What had begun as external pressure was quietly moving closer to the core. The system had not failed yet, but it was no longer operating in calm conditions. In response, leadership turned inward, relying on familiar strategies. Plans emphasized speed, scale, and continuity of existing processes. Efficiency remained the priority, even as conditions grew more volatile. Safeguards were adjusted to keep pace, not to slow momentum. Global expansion continued despite mounting operational complexity. Feedback cycles lengthened as layers of management grew. Decisions favored continuity over disruption. Early warning signs were noted, but not fully reinterpreted. Assumptions built during years of success went largely unchallenged. Systems were pushed harder, not redesigned. Confidence in the system remained strong. But pressure was quietly accumulating in places no one was watching. The strategy held until it didn't. The first signs of breakdown appeared inside Toyota's own production system. Quality issues that once appeared isolated began surfacing more frequently. Problems were no longer confined to factories. Customer reports began to surface across multiple markets. Internally, Toyota began tracking an issue that was growing harder to contain. Decision-making slowed as uncertainty replaced confidence. The situation escalated from internal concern to public crisis. Recalls expanded at a scale the company had never faced. Toyota's reputation for reliability began to fracture. Internally, trust in the system was shaken. Leadership faced scrutiny unlike anything before. What had once been a model for the world now stood on the edge. Toyota was no longer managing growth. It was fighting to regain control. At its lowest point, Toyota faced a decision that would define its survival. Leaders recognized that the crisis could not be solved by silence or delay. The company began dismantling assumptions it had relied on for decades. Processes once treated as unquestionable were reopened for scrutiny. Responsibility shifted from protecting the system to confronting its limits. Toyota began reinforcing human judgment alongside standardized process. Corrective actions were slow, deliberate, and costly. Survival required Toyota to change not what it produced, but how it listened. After the crisis peaked, Toyota turned inward. The company acknowledged that growth had outpaced its safeguards. Systems once trusted without question were reopened for scrutiny. Toyota deliberately slowed the system it had once pushed to its limits. Speed was no longer treated as proof of success. Decision-making authority moved closer to the factory floor. Standardization remained essential, but no longer unquestioned. The system was no longer seen as infallible. Accountability replaced assumption. Before recovery could begin, Toyota had to rebuild its foundation. Recovery did not arrive suddenly. It began with discipline, not acceleration. Every process was reevaluated under stricter standards. Consistency returned before confidence did. For customers, trust had to be rebuilt one experience at a time. Toyota accepted responsibility without minimizing the damage. Performance metrics were rewritten to prioritize quality over volume. The cost of recovery was accepted as unavoidable. Training replaced assumption across the workforce. Confidence returned slowly, supported by evidence rather than belief. Public perception began to stabilize. Internally, evidence replaced reassurance. Momentum returned without urgency. The crisis reshaped how Toyota defined success. Recovery was not declared, it was demonstrated. Years after the crisis, its impact still shaped Toyota's thinking. The experience became a permanent reference point. Processes were redesigned to anticipate failure, not deny it. Questioning became part of standard practice. Leadership learned that control without feedback invites risk. Efficiency was no longer pursued at the expense of awareness. The lessons extended beyond Toyota itself. The crisis reshaped how scale and complexity were understood. Normal operations returned with deeper caution. Past success was no longer treated as future insurance. Risk management became a daily discipline. The memory of failure remained present. It informed decisions without paralyzing progress. The setback reshaped Toyota's long-term identity. The legacy was not perfection, but awareness. The crisis did not end Toyota's story. It forced the company to confront its own limits. Growth was no longer treated as proof of strength. It became a reminder that scale magnifies both success and failure. Recovery was not about speed, but balance. The system learned to listen again. What once threatened collapse became a source of clarity. Innovation followed humility. The setback reshaped how Toyota defined reliability. Toyota's greatest setback did not end its story. It redefined it.